SNK's Art of Fighting 3 closed beta has ended, and the best way I can describe the beta, it absolutely sucked. Hey, how you doing folks, DecepySwag here, and today we're going to be talking about the recent beta for the new port of SNK's Art of Fighting 3, Art of Fighting 3 R, or Reignite. However, before we get into many issues I've had with this beta, go ahead and do your boy a solid and hit the like button, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon for future SNK content on the channel. Much appreciated. For anyone that don't know or just unaware, SNK announced at EVO that they would be releasing a brand new port of Art of Fighting 3 dubbed Art of Fighting 3 R. This will be in part with their Neo Geo premium selection program they've been doing for some time now, with them porting over old Neo Geo games, which the way that's handled has its own set of headaches and gripes I've constantly screamed to the ether about, but that's going to be a video in its own time down the line. Point is, with them announcing this port, everyone for the most part was like, alright, that's cool, makes sense to have this with the game being a title at SNK's championship event, SWC, aka SNK World Championship. Weird how we're just now getting it, but hey, you know, whatever, at least we have it. But then they announced also within that trailer that they're adding both Yuri Sakazaki and King to the roster, two characters that were never a part of the original game. And mind you, this game came out in like 1996, and if you know anything about SNK at this time, this was still their pixel-based art style era, so it's insane for them to go back and include brand new characters and it be sprite-based. So suffice to say, there was a lot of excitement, and explains what the holdup was with them just now coming out with this port. Now, to the confusing train wreck that was this Art of Fighting beta. This might be the worst closed beta I've ever played in my life, and it didn't have to be. First off, we didn't have the option to go and change our button layouts. Really annoying, but it's like, okay, whatever. Not the worst thing in the world. Old arcade game controls a little jank, but it is what it is. I'll just go ahead and practice the controls. Yeah, nah, you can't do that either. See, for whatever reason, we weren't allowed to access trainer mode and was only tied to playing online. We could not practice while waiting or anything. So on top of not being able to change your controls to fit your controller, you couldn't even practice the game to get an idea what the hell was what, which is very annoying when trying to learn any game, especially one from 30 years ago in the arcade era. So here you are playing on whatever device you use, trying to understand just how this game works, what button does what, why something happens, the mechanics, etc., all while having to fight someone online that more than likely won't have a great connection to you. Which, on the topic of playing online, the online for the game was very hit or miss, and a lot of times were misses. See, something to note here is, this port slash beta, whatever you want to call it, wasn't worked on by Code Mystics, who has done all the other ports in the Neo Geo Premium Select. Now, I have seen posts about it being done by some group called Rant Game, an Osaka company that has former SNK members in it, but I don't know how true that is, and I don't want to report on it as it's actually facts. So I'll just say, regardless of who was working on this, it wasn't Code Mystics, and that shows because the online was very shoddy person to person. Granted, there were times where I would get a very nice connection, like with Ultra Champ, shout out to them if you're watching, but a lot of times, the few times I did get some matches, they were very laggy and either chugged or skipped around. Which, another complaint is that, even regarding the online side, there were no indicators for ping, rollback frames, or anything when you played. So when you got matched with someone, you didn't really know the ping except for an orange connection bar, and even then, that bar didn't go all the way up, it showed just half of a bar, and then other times, you would get a blue dot. And yes, a literal blue dot, which turns out means a Wi-Fi connection. Now, why they didn't just put the entire symbol, I have no clue. But again, when matchmaking, you get no indicators about ping or location, and even during the match itself, you get no indicators of ping, location, or rollback frames. So the whole time you're playing, you have zero idea just what exactly is happening connection-wise. Another poor decision among many, and trust, there's more. And I'm sure you're watching and by now thinking, man, Decept, why aren't you showing us any footage of this stuff? And I would love to have been able to, but unfortunately, in the sign up for the closed beta, they made it a point to say that you weren't allowed to stream footage during or after. So I couldn't stream the game, and I was worried about even recording footage and run the risk of this vid getting shot down. So I decided not to risk that. I get it, right? Closed beta and all, so that makes sense. But that leads to my next issue. Why did this even need to be a closed beta in the first place? And before I continue on this topic, I want to clarify something. Everything I'm saying has no real beef with the game itself or the franchise, so all my criticisms are strictly regarding this beta. I asked the question why this even needed to be a closed beta because, and respectfully, what did they think was going to happen if it was an open beta? Did they think thousands upon thousands of folks were clamoring to play the Art of Fighting 3 and that infrastructure wouldn't be able to handle it? And let's say that was the reasoning, right? Would you not want that to happen? You should aim for a beta where you have so many people playing that it pushes the online infrastructure to a point so you know that, hey, this is either built really well and we did a good job, or this is terrible and we need to improve upon it quick and soon. But no, this was a closed beta you had to sign up for. So you made it to where folks had to go and sign up rather than being able to just download and play, cutting down the number of potential players for this beta. So now you have this small pool to go off of, and again, let me tell you, this wasn't a great pool to draw from if you're hoping for some good indication of improving stuff, because a lot of the issues again are poor decisions on part of whoever was in charge of this project. And this leads me to my biggest and most baffling complaint about this entire session that pissed me off more than everything I've talked about already, more than the online, more than the crappy lack of indicators for online connections, not being able to set your own key bindings and controls, or being forced to play online and not even allowed to go into practice mode. No. There's something that just, it don't even make sense that pissed me off way more than everything I've talked about so far. Remember when I said the whole thing about folks being excited to play this port for a particular reason, balancing the side and stuff? Hey, do me a favor real quick. Look at this image. Editor Decept, just cut the music right now. Just cut it, and I want y'all to really look at this. You see that right there? What's missing? YURI and King. Yep, they were not available to play in this closed beta at all. Wow, right? The thing that was advertised as the big thing of this port, the big oh snap moment that had folks talking about this game, and they were not there available. Again, why, you may ask? I don't have a clue at all, and frankly it's dumb because for those that don't know, they were right there on the character select screen. We were right there, man.
Oh, we were right there, man!
Like, I kid you not, the entire character roster was there, but majority was grayed out except for 4 characters that we had to pick from. That killed a lot of folks' excitement. Hell, I even have a friend that was really looking forward to playing YURI, and he's not the biggest SNK fan or anything, but he do enjoy YURI from SNK. He likes that character a lot. So I felt bad when we booted up the game and she wasn't available to play. And there's plenty of other folks that expressed that disappointment on Twitter and other platforms. Now, for this part, after everything I've said, right, I gave my thoughts and everything, and I wanted to make sure everything was nice and tidy and cohesive for what I'm saying to you all, so that way it's not just me ranting. Now, we're gonna go to the ranting part of this video, where I'm just gonna just let everything rip. So now we're gonna go on to full camera mode, all right? We're gonna turn the face cam for this one. So I've said everything I had to say, at least I thought I did when I wrote this, and I wrote everything down, I made bullet points, I made it look all nice and neat. You know, I wanted, like I say, look uniformed and make it cohesive. So when I recorded this video, it made sense. You know, it was gonna make sense to you all and to myself, and it did. And when I got towards the end, I was like, no, I need to really just let loose and really just freestyle what I want to say now. So there's no script here at this point. This is full on. We're here. Like, this is rare that I do this. So this is how you know this is serious what I'm about to say. I don't understand sometimes what goes on at SNK, because for anyone that don't know, if you're an SNK fan, especially if you've been one for a long time, like I've only been one for about 5-6 years, I'd say, right around like late 2018 is when I really got into it and stuff. So there's people that are like way older than me, have been longer fans than me for 10 plus years, decades, right? So it's a running gag, it's a running meme that like just, you expect SNK to take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Like, you just expect them to at some point somewhere fuck up, right? And it's unfortunate, but we do. So that's why whenever they do something good, we're excited, we're happy. It's like, okay, but we're a little apprehensive because it's always a matter of like, okay, at what point are y'all gonna do something stupid, right? Like, at what point you're gonna drop the ball somewhere, right? So it baffles me when I saw this and played this beta, right? And I'm gonna just throw on some random footage in the background, probably be R5 it baffles me playing this closed beta and the decisions that was made, because we've had ports of Ninja Masters, we've had port of Real Battle Fader 3 2, we've had ports like World Heroes, all these Kazuna Encounter, all these other games that didn't need betas, didn't need a closed beta at that. Online is great and everything, has these features, cool. Code Mystics had that down on lock. So now when we get to something like Art of Fighting 3, which, like, let's be honest, Art of Fighting 3, visually amazing, visually great. They was in a bag with this, they was really flexing their animations and stuff. But as far as like as a game being played, and it's a different topic, not for me to speak on really, right? But point being, you went and you added 2 new characters. You would put Yuri Sakazaki and King. You went back and put these characters in a sprite-based game for decades, not decades, I'm gonna say that, but like for a decade, people have been asking you all, you know, we would love to have a sprite-based, you know, King of Fighters game or a sprite-based fighting game from you all again, right? But time, money, stuff like that, effort, manpower, all that just didn't bode well to go through all that, right? So when you announced this Art of Fighting R, right, this new Art of Fighting port, this new updated one, with those 2 included, it had people excited and it gave people a reason to really want to play this. So then when you drop the ball and you do something like this, it makes 0 sense to me. Like, it genuinely pisses me off because it's just stupid. Like, I'm gonna call it what it is. It was stupid, right? And I'm being respectful as much as I can, but it's like, at times it genuinely feel like self-sabotage because this gives me flashbacks. Excuse me, I'm not cutting none of this out. It gives me flashbacks to what happened with the Samurai Showdown beta, the rollback beta, because even now, the rollback and stuff isn't great for Samurai Showdown 2019. That needed more time to be fleshed out. And this also reminds me of the KOF13 global match stuff, and that game still needs to be updated and fixed because it deserves to be in a better state than what it is. But then you have something like this with the Art of Fighting 3 R, and you add these new characters and yada yada yada. This is something that I would say, ironically enough, is the most important port of an older game you've done so far in this Neo Geo Premium Select initiative, program, whatever you want to call it, because you're doing something that people didn't think you would ever do, or any company really. And that's to go back into an old game, especially as old as this one. You know, shout out to Arxis and Blaze Blue, they went back and added a new character in that game, but y'all went back even further 30 years ago and added 2 new characters. So you would think you would handle this one with so much care and make sure everything goes right, or at least have the first impressions be correct, regardless of how this game plays, you know, how jank it is, whatever. It's an old 90s arcade game, right? You know what you're getting into. But you would think like, hey, we'll get Cold Mystics to work on this, we'll make sure everything goes without a hitch, or if there is some issues, we'll nip it in the bud quick, fast, and in a hurry. Why on God's green earth did y'all opt to, you know what? It's fine, Cold Mystics, we got this, right? Now, again, I don't know if this was an in-house thing at SNK, or if this Ren game group is the one that worked on this. Whoever did this, it sucked. Like, I'm gonna just be blunt. This sucked. This was horrible. Because why would you do the things you do? Why did this need to be a closed beta? It didn't need to be a closed beta. This needed to be, if you were gonna do a beta for whatever reason, right? For balancing or whatever the reason, it should have been open for anyone and everyone to play. So that way you have the right amount of people to get a nice pool of data to draw from, and then really test the online of this game, right? To make sure everything's good. Because when it comes to online, unfortunately, SNK has not really figured it out. They have not really like hit the nail on the head when it comes to that. Y'all gotten better, but y'all not at the level of, say, Capcom, right? Or even like KI and stuff. Hell, it's not even to the point I would even say like it's like encroaching Arxis level, but like even then it's like the online generally tends to be range from like good to like really good, but not amazing, right? So then when we're doing this now, it's like, why not have Cold Mystics do this? Why? Like, it makes 0 sense to me. It's so insane. And you don't have Yuri and King. Like, I've already talked about controls, King. I already talked about the fact that we can't play each other in lobbies. I already talked about the fact that we can't even go into practice mode, right? All that I already brought up, right? That's already annoying stuff. But you're gonna tell me that even with all of that, you're not even gonna allow us to play Yuri and King, who was right there on the character select screen. I'm not exaggerating. They were right there, but just not selectable. For what? What? It doesn't make sense. I like Ryo. I like Robert. I like Kasumi. The dude with the yellow hair, I don't really know his name, but he's funny, right? I like his design. He just seemed like a funny dude throwing the tonfas and stuff, or whatever that is. Like, but I would like to try the rest of the cast. I would like to try the 2 new characters that you advertised as the big thing, the big hook for this port. Because another issue that I mentioned earlier in the video, and I'm going to bring it up again, the thing that irks me whenever y'all do these ports is you don't have, first off, you don't have it on multiple platforms, right? And I don't think this one is going to be on multiple platforms either. So that's already a big negative, right? It's a hard sell for people. Then with it not being on multiple platforms, it's not going to be crossplay. So it's only going to be tied to PC. Not everyone plays on PC. SNK, you need to put these on multiple platforms. I'm going to say it again. Put them on multiple platforms. Stop doing this whole PC only. I don't know who in the boardroom. I don't know who in these meetings. I don't know what psycho is telling you these things. Stop listening to that guy. Fire that person. Genuinely, fire that person that is telling y'all to only do PC, because it's killing you. It's killing. You can make so much more money, right? Because at the end of the day, I understand I can remove the business and fighting game fan portions. I can separate the two. So from a strictly business portion, right? Let's say you don't even want to do physicals. You just want to do digital, right? For whatever reason, right? It still would behoove you. Yeah, I know big words. It would behoove you to do multi-plats. That way you have multi-plats, and it has to have crossplay. That way you have a wider range of players, meaning a wider range of potential buyers. Why are you cutting yourself off at only PC? Stop doing that. This game is already gonna have an issue selling to people in the first place because it's Art of Fighting 3. And again, respectfully, to no one, you know, no beef or any slight to anyone that likes Art of Fighting 3 or the games, right? I have no beef with these games at all. But I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like everyone was just clamoring, "Ooh, Art of Fighting 3, we finally get it." No, but the fact that you're putting Yuri and King and putting sprite-based characters again, right? Like you're making them again. Even if it's just for this, it had people excited because of the potentiality for what you could do with your other games. I have a whole video like working on it about why this, like, as much as I'm ragging on this port, it's very important. That's why I'm so upset. Like, this is very important, and I need y'all, SNK, to get it together with this. This was a simple thing to do. Just, you've done it with 5 other games. You've done it with Real Battle Fader Free 2. You've done it with Ninja Masters. You've done it with Kazuna Encounter. You've done it with World Warriors. I feel like I'm probably forgetting another port that you've done, but like, y'all have done this before. So when it comes time to one that is really like eyebrow raising and get people kind of talking, you do this. For what? For what? Again, to whoever handled this, right? Whoever was in charge of handling, okay, we're going to handle the Art of Fighting 3 R, right? Whoever was in charge of this, I'm going to say this, and I need you to hear me and understand that when I say this, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to just be mean for the sake of being mean. I'm telling you this, right? For y'all own good. This sucked. This genuinely sucked in every conceivable way, from the online to the available modes to the just being able to change your controls, from the lack of characters to being able to choose from, and then biggest of all, that we weren't even able to pick Yuri and King. This sucked in literally every single way possible. And whoever worked on this, or whoever decisions these were to do it this way and to make it a closed beta, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm gonna be frank, I don't want you working on another one of these ports again. I need you to go work on the mobile games. I need you to go work on something else that don't involve gaming. Because if you're doing that with this, I would be terrified if it comes to find out that whatever group worked on this is going to be working on any other SNK projects. Stay away from the games, yo. I'm being so serious. And I mean that with the greatest respect. Don't touch these again, because this sucked. This was horrible. Do not do this again. Let this be the first and last time we go through this, because this was genuinely a horrible experience for people. And it sucked for people that just wanted to try it out and was looking forward to playing those characters. And you didn't even do that right. You didn't even do that right. How do you not do that right? The one thing people wanted to do, and you couldn't even do that right. This is why it's like I mentioned earlier, it's tough being an SNK fan, because it's like, just when you think, okay, they're getting it together, like, all right, they're trying to get the hang, it's like always something. It's always another thing. And that's how you know we care, because we still stick with the company through the stupidity. And this is one of those times where it's just pure stupidity. It made 0 sense. Like, no decision here made sense. Nothing was explained as to why this happened, or why this was here, or why we only made it online, or why you can't practice, or why you can't practice while queuing up for matches, or why we have a blue dot for a connection when someone has a Wi-Fi, instead of just putting the entire Wi-Fi symbol or why there's just an orange bar, a single one, mind you, for someone's connection instead of just showing the full. Like, do you see why I'm frustrated? Do you see why it's just stupidity on top of stupidity? This video got, mind you, this section wasn't supposed to be this long, but now that I think about it, I'm getting angrier as I talk about it, so I gotta cut myself off here. But we reached that part of the video where I ask you all an important question, and you know what it is. It's my favorite. What are your thoughts? If you had a chance to play the closed beta, what did you think of it? If you haven't, what do you think of what I've explained? Because all of this is true. You can go check out other people's posts on Twitter. I'm sure other people have done their reviews on YouTube already. Tell me what you think of all this, and let me know if YURI and King are what has you even excited in the first place for this Art of Fighting 3 port. Because I'm gonna be honest, if they didn't announce that and it was just like, hey, here's a port of Art of Fighting 3 with a rebalance, people would still be like, oh, okay, cool. But it wouldn't have been to the level of people hyped for it because of YURI and King. So share your thoughts down below and I will try to get back to you. But final thoughts, SNK, get it together. Get it together. Like, no, like, get it together. None of this, all right? Don't do this whole thing again with the closed beta and it being a horrible experience for people, and again, whatever group you had doing this one, get them off this project. Don't ever let them do another one. Let Code Mystics work on y'all ports just exclusively from now on, right? Because it's bad enough whenever y'all have these betas that they don't tend to go well majority of the time. The Samurai Showdown, as I said, 2019, that still needs to be fixed. The online for that game and the lobbies still needs fixing. And King of Fighters 13 global match could still use some improvements and needs improvements. There's no reason why it shouldn't have bigger lobbies and better online and stuff. And look, that's again, videos for another time, another day, whatever. Point being, y'all can do better. We know y'all have the capacity to do better. We know y'all have it in you. We understand that things happen, but stuff like this is not excusable. But that's gonna be all from me. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, then please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to tap that bell icon. Trying to get this channel to around 5K likes, or not 5K likes, but 5K subs before the end of the year. I already told y'all at this point, I'm not cutting nothing out. This is what we're doing, right? You get face cam, you get it raw, all right? But yeah, and while you're at it, try to get this video to around 100 likes. Always appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Sorry I've been gone for a while. There's a big storm that came through, so I didn't have power for a good while. But yeah, we're back and we're trying to get the ball rolling. But yeah, man, just another day in the life of being an SNK fan, man. It's just one of those things. But I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all be easy, be safe. Till next time, I'm DecepySwag. Later.